Good day, good day, good day, everyone. So today I am Teacher Annie, and today we are going to talk about pronoun, in which we already have the noun before, and we will continue with our grammar class, and in which we're going to focus on pronoun. So let's get started. For us to know what is pronoun, let's have first the definition. Let's know what is pronoun. Okay, so the definition of pronoun is any of small set of words in a language that are used as substitute for nouns or noun phrase and use reference are named or understood in the context. That is the definition of pronoun. To learn more, I have a very simple way to define the pronoun. We have this one. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word used in place of a noun. So that's it. A pronoun is a word used in place of a noun. Usually, pronouns refer to something that was already mentioned in previous sentence or understood by the listener or reader. They are very useful words because when you use them, you do not need to repeat nouns at all time. So let's just take or let's analyze, understand the sentences with some examples like without pronouns and with pronouns. So let's have without pronouns. Alexander is my neighbor. Alexander says that Alexander likes to sleep. If you noticed, we already mentioned Alexander three times. Alexander, Alexander, Alexander. But let's take a look. If we're going to use the pronoun, what will happen to the sentence? Alexander is my neighbor. He says that he likes to sleep. So we use the word he or the pronoun he to replace Alexander. So this one is to avoid repeated of words, to repeat nouns at all time, right? So when a pronoun replaces a word or a group of words, the word being replaced is called an antecedent. In the following sentence, precedent is antecedent of the pronoun who. Let's read the example. I wrote a letter to the president, who responded quickly. A pronoun must agree with its antecedent in person, number, and gender. So if it's person, we use for person. If it's number, we use for number. And if it's gender, we use for gender. So if you noticed who, remember who is for people, who is for person. So who refers to the precedent. So that's why we use who. Because if we don't use pronoun, we can say, I wrote a letter to the president. The president responded quickly. So we repeat the word or the phrase, noun phrase, the president. Understood? So let's learn the different types of pronoun. So we have the different types of pronoun. We have here demonstrative, personal, indefinite, reciprocal, interrogative, intensive, relative, and reflexive. These are the 8 types of pronoun. Now let's move to what is a demonstrative pronoun. Demonstrative pronoun, these are pronouns that point out a specific person, animals, places, things, or ideas. If you can see, here are the list of demonstrative pronouns. This, that, these, those. Example sentences. That is his book. This is an excellent question. I want to exchange this for that and these for those. So this is singular. These is plural. That is singular and those is plural. But all of these words are demonstrative, meaning from the word demonstrate, show. Okay? Next, personal pronoun. In order to use the personal pronoun, okay, so we're done with the demonstrative pronoun, so let's move on to personal pronoun. In order to use the personal pronouns, it is important to know about case, subject, object, or possessive. Number, we have singular or plural. Person, we have first, second, and third. And for gender, we have male, female, or neutral. So if you noticed here, we have personal pronouns, subject, object, possessive adjectives, reflexive, intensive pronouns, and we have also possessive. So we have singular, first person, second person, third person, and we have also plural, first person, second person, and third person. Okay? So if we say first person, it's referring to us, like I, me, mine, my, myself, we, us, ours, ourselves, meaning we are included. The speaker is part of the group. But if we say second person, so the person is not anymore, or the speaker is not anymore part of the group. Just like you, yours, yourself, you, yours, yourself, meaning referring to one. Next, we also have the third person, he, she, it, him, her, it, his, hers, its, his, her, its, himself, herself, itself. We also have for plural, they, them, that, their, themselves. Okay? So actually, I broke up, no, not broke up. I just separated and cut them into pieces, just like this. So as what we know, we have subject pronoun. So subject pronoun, these are pronoun that are used to be a subject. Most of them, or always, they are used to be a subject. They cannot be an object, okay? So I, you, she, he, it, they, we, they are used as a subject or subject complement. She is a teacher. It was he who said that. If you noticed, you cannot see any name or noun that was mentioned because instead of using noun, we use the pronoun or the subject pronoun she, it, or the subject complement he. So if we have a subject pronoun, of course, in a sentence, we also have object pronouns. These are pronouns that usually use for object. It can be indirect object, direct object, object of a preposition. It depends. We have me, you, him, her, them, us, it. She baked him a pie. I can hardly see it. They are going with us. So if you notice, him, it, us. Okay? So you get the idea? She is the subject. Him is the object, direct object. It, indirect object, object of the preposition with us. Okay? So I hope this is good example for you to understand. So let's move to the next page. Okay? If we have subject pronoun and we also have object pronoun, we also have the possessive pronoun. When you say possessive, that is shows possession. When you say possession, that is something that you own. You own something. It means mine, yours, his, hers, theirs, ours, its take the place of possessive pronoun. Let's have the example. If this isn't ours, it must be theirs. Yours is much better than mine. So if you notice, yeah, there's a wrong spelling. It's done. It should be done. Okay, so let's take a look for this. So than mine, right? So if this isn't ours, so ours meaning own position, meaning you're part of it, it must be theirs. So another people, yours is much better than mine. So that is shows ownership. The word possession or possessive shows ownership. Okay, so don't forget that one. Next, case and personal pronoun. Oh, this is a little bit complicated, but I just want to give you this one because this is part of personal pronoun. Always use subjective nominative case pronoun if pronoun is a part of a subject. My sister and me went to the movie. That is incorrect. My sister and me went to the movie. If you notice, we use and me, right? It should not be me. My sister and I went to the movie. That is the correct one. In this example, above the pronoun is part of the subject. So subject pronoun should be used first. Always remember, my sister and I went to the movie, not me. Yes, it's a little sound awkward actually. Always use objective pronoun if pronoun is part of the object. My sister took a picture of him and I. So, part of the object. My sister took a picture of him and me. That is correct. In this example, the pronoun is a direct object. So, object pronoun should be used. Okay? Understand? Yeah, so let's continue. We also have person and personal pronoun. Personal pronoun are called personal because they indicate a person speaking, spoken to, or spoken about. Personal pronoun refers to a specific individual, that is singular, or a group, that is plural. Example sentences: I saw you when she talked to them. The pronoun I refers to the person speaking. So that is the first person. I. The pronoun you refers to the person spoken to. That is a second person. The pronoun she and them refer to the persons spoken about. That is the third person. So that's how you're going to identify the first, the second, and the third person. Okay? So we have the example sentences. I, first person. So you, second person. She talked to them. That is third person. Understood? No. Now, let's have the gender and personal pronoun. Gender and personal pronoun. Some of the personal pronouns have gender, which means that they are masculine, masculine meaning male, feminine meaning female, or neuter. Neuter meaning it's not a male or a female, or you don't know if it's a male or a female. No gender at all. That is neutral. Knowing the gender of antecedent, we can choose a pronoun with matching gender. Let's have these examples. Alex is my brother. I like him. Him refers to the word Alex. And the word Alex, the name Alex usually used for man or male. So we use him, not her. Okay? This is Nancy. She is 10. Oh, we use she because we're talking about Nancy. And the name Nancy is commonly used for a woman or female. That's why. This is my watch. Give it to me. This is my watch. Give it to me. So if you noticed, watch is a thing. We don't know if it's a man or a woman. We don't know the gender, so we use it. Okay, so that is for neutral. Next, we also have intensive pronouns. Intensive pronouns, also called emphatic, end with self or itself, and emphasize intensify a noun or another pronoun. They make you notice the nouns and pronouns they go with. In this sentence, the pronoun he is himself and it goes with the noun instructor. Instructor himself order this product. In that sentence, the pronoun is ourselves and it goes with the pronoun we. We did all the work ourselves. List of intensive pronoun, we have myself, if talking about yourself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, oneself, ourselves, themselves, yourselves. So these are intensive, to intensify the pronoun or the sentence, okay? We also have reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronouns are the same as intensive pronouns. Okay, so but they don't intensify, they point back to the subject of the sentence. Sometimes it happens, so if you can just see above, or we say, see the previous slide, there are reflexive, or intensive and reflexive, are they just the same, but they have different function. They are the same in the form, in the words, but they have different function. In this reflexive, we sometimes say the subject and the object are the same. Example, he wanted to kick himself. Himself is referring to he. So he is the subject, himself is the object. For even making that stupid comment, I bought myself a new shirt. So if you notice, myself is the object pronoun and I is the subject pronoun. So I and myself are just the same. So that's it. Reflexive pronoun, we can use the reflexive pronoun if the subject and the object are just the same. While for intensive pronoun, that one is just to show or to intensify the subject or something, okay? Next, we also have reflexive and intensive pronoun. Yes, as what I've told you, turn the action of the verb back to the subject for of the sentence. Never use a reflexive or intensive pronoun in place of a personal pronoun. So we can say himself go out or I go out. That's it. Not himself go out. We cannot use this as a subject. Okay? They are correctly used only in reflexive or intensive rules. The following sentences are incorrect. Mary and myself went to the movie. My father drove Mary and myself to the movies. So if we're going to correct them, the following sentence are correct. Mary and I, because they are subject. Mary and myself, it's not. Myself is not a subject. So Mary and I went to the movie. My father drove Mary and me to the movie. List of reflexive pronouns. So if you notice, it's just the same. Myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, oneself, ourselves, themselves, yourselves. Okay? Now let's continue. We also have relative pronoun. Our relative pronoun, these are referring to WH questions form, but they are not questions. They're just referring to something. Relative pronoun begins a subordinate clause and connects that clause to another noun that precedes in its sentence. List of relative pronouns: who, whom, whose, whoever, whomever, which, whichever, that, what, whatever. If you notice, most of them are WH, right? It is a book that is difficult to ignore. So if you notice, sometimes the relative pronoun and the subject are just near to each other, referring to a book. So if you notice, it is a book that is referring to the book, because we can say it is a book is difficult to ignore. Yeah, so we cannot say that. It's a little bit awkward. Then the dog, which is terrier, is 4 years old. Mm. I will consider renting or buying, whichever works out best. So, which referring to renting or buying, which referring to the dog, because we don't know if the dog is a boy or anyway, the dog is not a person, so we can use which. Okay, next. We also have here some example sentences. All relative pronouns do not change the form with gender, person, or number. Only who change from with case, because who is a subject and we cannot use it from the for object. So for object we use it whom, and for possession or possessive we use who. Example sentences we have here: the girl who told me the story lives down the street. So the girl, subject who. The girl whom I choose will get a present. So object. I am not sure whose that is. Whose possession. Okay? Next. We also have interrogative pronoun. Wow, this is to talk about question, to interrogate. Interrogative pronouns are used to begin or introduce interrogative sentences. They are similar to the relative pronouns. The difference is their use in the sentence, their uses in the sentence. List of interrogative pronouns, same, maybe only a few, right? Compared to relative pronoun. We have here who, whom, whose, what, and which. Example sentence. Whom did you invite to the party? Which did you prefer? Who did what to whom? Example. It's a little bit. Okay, who did what to whom? So that one is interrogative, to ask questions. Next, we also have reciprocal pronouns. From the word reciprocal, just like reuse, right? Reciprocal pronouns shows a mutual relationship. They are each other and one another. Example. No. Another example, or not an example, just an explanation for each other. Each other is used when the group consists of just two people, animals, or things. We love each other. Mm. John and Mary hate each other. Okay? Or example here, John and Bob respect each other. Mm. We also have one another. One another is used when the groups consist of more than two people, animals, or things. We are commanded to love one another. Just like family. Family composed of more than two people. Uh, we love one another. We can say we love each other. Okay? In our family, we love one another. So that is one another because it's more than two. If it's only two, so we say each other. Okay? Just like you and your boyfriend or you and your mother. Oh, me and my mom love each other. Me and my sister love each other. Me and my family love one another. Okay? That's it. Next, So indefinite pronouns. So indefinite pronouns. Oh, yes, we almost done. So in indefinite pronouns, these are pronouns that cannot be count or can say un unlimited. Oh. Indefinite pronouns do not refer to any particular person or place or things. They replace nouns without specifying which nouns they replace. So we don't know. So let's have some of the indefinite pronouns. Singular, another, anybody, anyone, anything, each, either, everybody, everyone, everything. Little, much, neither, nobody, no, one, nothing, one, other, somebody, someone, something. So if you use these words, always use singular verb. We also have plural, both, few, many, others, several. Then we also have singular or plural, all, any, more, most, none, some. So just remember these list of indefinite pronoun and they're very useful. So be careful when using them because sometimes, most of the time, not sometimes, most of the time only. Most of the time we use them and we paired with plural verb in which we use singular verb. So let's take some examples. Indefinite pronouns that end in one or body are always singular, except none. These words includes anyone, everyone, someone, one, anybody, somebody, nobody. Examples: pronouns that are always singular, everybody can do something, but nobody can do everything. Either looks like a good option. Examples: pronouns that are always plural, few were late for the meeting. Many bought tickets to the show. Okay? So that's it. So just be careful, just analyze and everything. Okay? Now, for indefinite pronouns that can be singular or plural, it depends on what the indefinite pronouns refers to. There is a lot of furniture in the room. Some is damaged. Some refers to furniture, which is singular. There are many books there. Some are very interesting. Some refers to books, which is plural. Okay? Next, possessive adjectives. Possessive adjectives are also called possessive determiners. Always modify, describe a noun. They must be used together with nouns they are describing and come in front of them. List of possessive determiners: my, yours, his, her, its, our, their. His book is excellent. Their house is new. Highlighted words inform us to whom something belongs and their function is similar to those of adjectives. Okay? That is, you remember, your book is so beautiful like that. Okay, next. Pronouns versus adjectives. Some words that function as pronouns may function as adjectives because they tell something about the noun they modify rather than stand in for it. Examine the following comparison to see the different rules of some words and remember that adjective describe a noun and pronoun replaces a noun. Always remember that. Here, possessive adjective versus possessive pronouns. My English is good. Mine is better. I see your money. Yours are gone. His girl is a student. I will take his. I like her hair. It's hers. It is our place. It is ours. Their house is old. I do not want theirs. That is possessive adjective versus possessive pronoun. My English is good. This is describe the noun English. Mine is better. Possessive pronoun. Possession. Demonstrative adjective versus demonstrative pronouns. I like that story. I like that. These quizzes are nice versus these are nice quizzes. Who did this work? Who did this? Okay? So it's a little bit complicated, but if you're going to analyze, there's really a big difference between the two of them. Okay? Next, we have interrogative adjective and interrogative pronouns. Which classes did you take? Which did you like? Mm. Whose phone did you use? Whose did you break? What kind of pronoun is it? What is a pronoun? Mm. Indefinite adjectives, we also have versus indefinite pronouns. Many children like ice cream. Many bought tickets to the show. Do you want some bananas? Some are not fresh. Is there any tea? No, there isn't any. I need a few minutes versus I have a few. So if you noticed, there's really a big difference. So I want you to check again, again, and again, okay? And I think that's all for today. Thank you until the next grammar lesson. This is Teacher Annie saying goodbye and see you in the next lesson about grammar. So remember, we're already done with noun, move to pronoun, and next we're moving to a verb. So see you and enjoy your activity. Your teacher can give you some activities after this. Okay? So thank you so much for listening and watching. Thank you. And this is teacher Annie saying goodbye to you. Goodbye.